Hi, students. How are you doing? Welcome to Nine Scene. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So I am going to talk about DEI and some other things like, following the video. And I am going to say that I am not going to tell or beg anybody, especially these people, to support Black-owned businesses. Because this video, somebody was saying that you are supposed to look around for Black businesses, support Black businesses and all that. And it is not a bad idea, but I am not going to tell anybody to come and support Black businesses. If you think that if you wake up as a person of color or as a white person and choose to support Black businesses, that is absolutely fantastic, because I don't want anybody to think that if you do not support us, Black people are not going to survive, because they've been surviving all their lives, right? But something I am also going to call and let Black people know is that enough of spending money where you are not wanted, enough of giving other people money that doesn't spend. Like Black dollar doesn't stay in Black community. It is time to start taking that money back to Black community, right? Because when we put our money back in our community, trust me, it circulates. When it circulates, everybody is touching money. Money is in circulation. So many things are going to reduce, and you will see high productivity and all that. That is one of the reasons why I keep saying anything Asian stores and others, stop entering there, stop buying tacos, make tacos in your house, stop Asia 4 and all that. Learn to do all those in your house and cut those excessive spending. Let's bring that money back to our community. Let's get into this video.
I want to talk about weaponized avoidance, specifically in white women, even white women that intend to do well. The thing is that most racially marginalized people have never lived in the level of security in which we are allowed to avoid difficult conversations, avoid taking stock of survival mechanisms, of resources, and other forms of support on a regular basis, maybe even a daily basis, in order to survive in the world, much less thrive. What I find to be very sinister in a way that may be unintentional, but it impacts people just the same, is this idea that you have to have a surplus of time, a surplus of energy, or a surplus of resources in order to have conversations about race, about class, about other forms of marginalized identity, in order to have those conversations. So the pattern of intentionally or unintentionally weaponizing scarcity in time, in resources, or energy, I really want to encourage, especially white women, but anybody who is trying to do some sort of intentional change work, to stop looking at the time, energy, and resources you don't have and look at the time, energy, and resources that you do have. If you only have $5 budgeted towards buying things for your house, what that you already buy on a regular basis can you swap out to support a Black-owned business, another marginalized, identity-owned business? If you don't have 5 hours, 5 days, 5 months to dedicate to a program around anti-racism, then what 5 minutes can you put in every single day or every other day to read something, to listen to something, to like and comment, share and amplify something? And last but not least, if you are hell-bent on still making these excuses, ask yourself why. Why do I not have energy for this? Why do I not have resources for this? Because the answer might not be, well, I actually do, so let me go ahead and save that time, money, energy, resources. No, it could be that you don't. And it could be that you're not making that time, energy, space, and resources because you are afraid to start. Just admit it. Some of you might just be afraid to start. So white women, white men, anyone that knows they could be doing better, and they're not, I want you to stop victimizing yourself. Stop lamenting. Stop apologizing even. Just ask yourself, what is truly keeping me from showing up to the webinar, from switching out the products that I buy? What is something that I could be doing differently to make sure that I have extra time, energy, resources, or even the nerve to get started? So our assignment for these last couple weeks of 2024 is to ask yourself one of my favorite age-old open-ended questions. Why not now? If there's no answer for why not now, get started on your changemaker journey, whether that is dropping everything you're doing and devoting yourself to DEI or activism, or it's figuring out what is at the intersection of vocation and passion for you. And if there is a good answer, I really don't have the time, I really don't have the resources, I really don't have the energy, then I want you to ask yourself, how can I make the time, resources, or energy? The same way the average Black person, brown person, queer person, disabled person has had to do every single day of our lives in order to survive. Start there. Let me know what comes up. And then let me know how I can help. I remember where I was on November 9th, 2016. I went to bed very optimistic, maybe overly so, underestimating the power of representation for people that see themselves in him, you know? This year I wasn't as naive, but I still woke up just not knowing how to feel about the next 4 years at least being laid out before us in a way that doesn't favor anyone's freedom if you look like me, or anyone's sovereignty, any woman, anyone that isn't aligned with what's coming, you know? And I think the only mistake that my brain made in the beginning was, at least it's only another 4 years. At least it's only another 4 years. Or, well, 4 years from now, it'll be better again. And I don't know about you, but I'm not trying to wait 4 years to be happy or to be on fire with the things I know I want to do, to talk about change, to make an impact, to serve people, to talk about identity and belonging in a way that heals wounds that have had people looking for love in all of the wrong political places, to continue to teach DEI, because that is the reason why we're here, because people don't want to hear and see and understand and accept the actual history of post-colonial societies like the United States. That's my job. That's what I'm here to do. I'm not going to stop doing that depending on who's in office. It may be harder, but it also might put that fire and motivate you all to finally put your money where your mouth is, because once again, white women, you have voted this man into office. Once again, non-Black people, you showed up in droves, betraying your best interests for 4 more years under someone that would rather a woman die in childbirth than help save her life. I just don't understand on what planet this is an acceptable trade-off for over 50% of one of the most developed nations in the world. But here we are. And don't pardon my French, I meant every word I just said. So while we're all still processing and thoughts are going to continue to come out, I just want to encourage you all to do one thing. Don't wait until 4 years from now to get up, to act, to build that business, to say the thing, to cut off those ties, to build a community of people that love and support you for who you are, not people that don't see color, you know, not people who, as long as you work hard, you'll get what you want. That's clearly not the case. We just saw that's not the case. So stop lying and start working. We are tired of the reactive activism. It is time for proactive activism. We are sick and tired of people being outraged at results that they could have taken a greater stand against. The time is now, not 4 years from now. Let's go. Dear white women, in a world where Black women are the absolute most educated population in the entire United States, and many times in a lot of parts of the world as well, please teach your white sons that one day it is probable, if not likely, that they will one day report to a Black woman. They will one day lose a job to a Black woman. And it is very likely that in spite of everything they have been taught, every message they've been fed, they will even look up to a Black woman. You see, a lot of the issues that especially Black women go through, and I would say other non-white women as well, that we go through growing up, is that when we get something, when we move up in the world, when we know things, our legitimacy is often thrown into question immediately, because you simply have not taught your sons that excellence looks like a lot of things, and it doesn't always look like them. This is why when I teach about representation, I say that representation is not just for us. Representation is not just so that little Black girls and boys, other non-white people of color, disabled people, the queer community, religious minorities, et cetera, women, and all the different intersectionalities that exist within our global population. There is a reason why I say that representation is not just for us. It's not just so that we see ourselves in the future that we want to be part of. It's so that your white sons grow up having normalized the fact that there are excellent women, excellent Black people, excellent insert marginalized experience here in high places, not just people that look like them. So the next time you hear somebody going off on not DEI, MEI, if you want to go that route, still, we come back around to the same principal point. Black women are, by percentage, the most educated and decorated population in the United States and many other parts of the world. So whether we're talking about DEI or MEI, Black women are still at the top. So you might as well teach your sons this fact sooner rather than later, so that way they don't grow up thinking that they deserve what other people have when they actually haven't earned it.
I have a reminder for white people that are doing anti-racism work and for white people that consider themselves activists. You are not the center of the work. You are not an expert on the work. You are an ongoing student, and you are best served, and you are doing your best work if you always consider yourself just starting. What happens all too often is somebody starts on their journey and they get comfortable and they start to feel like they know everything. They start to feel superior to other people doing the work. They find themselves speaking over Black people, Indigenous, and other people of color. They find themselves speaking for Black people, Indigenous people, and other people of color. And in those statements, getting so many things wrong. The center of the work are the people that you are uplifting. The center of the work are Black people, Indigenous people, and other people of color. Keep your ego out of the way and stay open to feedback. Don't let comfort cause you to revert.
So this is all I got from this video, and I absolutely agree with this woman, but we can always agree and disagree. Number one is that I am not going to ask any white person or anybody to support DEI. If you think there is no need to support DEI, then I don't have to tell you. You have to use your brain this time around. And I cannot tell a white person to go and patronize Black businesses, right? Because if you think that is not necessary, there are things you don't tell people. People are supposed to know the right thing to do and like the necessary things to do, right? So I cannot start telling them go and support Black business like without them, Black people have not been living or doing their thing. I just don't want to do that, right? I don't want to start calling them, you have to go and support Black businesses, to support DEI, to help support no. If you think you can do it, go ahead and do it. But if you think you cannot do it, it's okay. I mean, I cannot come out and start telling you go and support Black businesses, because I don't want anybody to think that, without your own dollar or without you patronizing Black businesses cannot exist and all that, right? Now, moving forward, the reality is that white women, majority of them do not want to do the work, right? They do not want to come out and speak about DEI. Some of them also make excuses. Some of them can see so far what it's going to happen. Like the next 4 years they know it is going to be hard for them. They know it's also going to be hard for us. But as long as we are not winning, it is better for them. Like they are always happy, right? So that's why each time we talk about them voting against their own interest to come back in the end to tell you that I never knew it was going to, or we knew it was, those stories that they come out to say and speak. So I personally feel like they know what they are doing, and I don't have to also make anybody to like, do not patronize me with your words. Do not, if you feel like you don't want to patronize me, not patronize my business and all that. I don't have to beg you. I don't have to ask you for it. This next 4 years is really going to be hard. Everybody have to buckle up, know what you are supposed to do at a person, increase your earning, continue to work hard, look out for every other black person, support black businesses, boycott some businesses. Do not spend on the things that you think they are not necessary, right? Spend on the things that you think they are necessary. And what else do I want to say about this? Let's just continue to support ourselves, because so far I have like looked around and found out that black people do not have any allies. But we just have to have each other's back. And that is it. That is the only way to survive black unity. Because if you look around, you definitely will find out that from the people that voted, you definitely will find out nobody really supported you, right? Nobody came out for you. That alone is obvious. I don't need to explain that to anybody. It is glaring that you are on your own, and the best we can do for ourselves is that it's not even the best. It's like we do not have choice anymore, right? To choose, are we supposed to, we are supposed to unite. You don't have to ask about it. You don't have to say that. Just all we have to do is come together and fight for ourselves. Because if we don't do it, nobody will come out to do it. Other people already have chosen what they wanted, and it looks like what they wanted, it's already firing them, and they are out there looking for somebody to drag into their own mess, but are not black people, right? Because black people came out for you all. So all I can say is that let's all get ready. For anybody saying, okay, she's talked about black women trying to tell their boys or their children, like, teach their son that black magic, so they aren't confused when they encounter it. See, whether they encounter it or not, I'm not going to ask anybody to teach anybody. When you experience it, you definitely will feel it, because very soon it's really going to be hot. When I say hot, black girl magic are coming. The educated demographic, right? When you see them, you know that you have to respect yourself, and you know that you have to sit right. If not, you're gonna experience black magic. So I am not going to tell anybody to teach his or his son or the daughter that black magic is a thing. You will experience it, and then you will be humble, right? I mean, I think that is all I have, And one thing I know for sure is that as soon as we start coming together, and also I love how Black Project 2025 is also taking shape. It's not something that I'm going to start discussing here and all that. Black people are doing great for themselves. They are already getting ready, and that is something that I love. I mean, see you all in my next video. Bye for now.